Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt-out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today we're exploring choices. And it's really happening. As making choices is happening without much awareness most of the time. And I think it's quite innocuous, really. Most of the decisions we make, what to wear, I was going to say what to eat, but that might be one we can explore a little bit. Where to go, who to see, what things to watch on the television. A lot of them we're doing without any consideration at all, but they're okay. We're not doing anything wrong, are we, in the main? But the choices that I'm going to focus on a bit more are those ones that, I guess, the ones that can bring about a feeling of regret. So we're going to put that to bed first, the regret, because as you listen to this and as it unfolds, I hope you will see that you do what you do in the moment, and you are running a program, and you do your best. You're always doing your best. Compassion for the self in the past is really, really helpful, because if we have messed up, we have said something or done something we perhaps later on don't think is ideal, it's useful to know that that's just because it's new thought, a new reality, something else looks real. But in the moment when we did that thing, it made sense. And this is why. So human beings have become, I don't know whether we've probably always been feeling managing beings. If we think right back to our ancestors, I guess, in an anthropological sense, just about got that out, seeking a nice feeling was seeking a full feeling in your stomach, seeking a physical connection to the opposite gender so that you could procreate, because that was important. It was seeking warmth and dry and shelter. When we think about Maslow's hierarchy, it was those basic things, but it was all around feeling, the physical feeling of protecting the physical body, I suppose, and keeping us as a species going. But now it's really expanded into all sorts of things. But I think it is rooted in that physical idea, because when we feel an uncomfortable feeling, let's say an angry feeling, it's kind of mixed up that we think we've got to manage that. It's not hunger. I'm having a bit of an insight myself at the moment. It's not hunger, is it? Like the physical sensation isn't something that can be resolved, really. It's by the outside world. Like, if I feel hungry, I can eat some food and I won't feel hungry anymore. If I feel an angry feeling, what we usually do when we make a choice that isn't protectful is we come from the place of believing that angry feeling is coming from the outside world. So it makes sense then to do something in the outside world, to shout at somebody, to send a rude email, whatever else, in order to try and address this uncomfortable feeling that we've got inside us. So, for me, that means that I will respond or react, actually, to be honest, to something that I receive, a text, a message, or whatever, somebody's behaviour, and I will react with anger. I will shout at that person or send that rude email or whatever. And that's just it's all based on the level to which we believe, where we think that feeling is coming from. If we think that feeling is coming from the outside world, we fundamentally will make sense to do the thing, whatever the thought is in that moment, that makes sense to address the outside world and make it stop doing whatever it's doing so we can feel okay. It makes absolute, perfect, total and utter sense to do that. So, but that's a misunderstanding. It's an innocent misunderstanding. I think I've pinned it down a little bit today, that it comes from that original, hierarchy of needs where we've felt hunger, so we needed to address that by doing something in the outside world. And now it's somehow got translated into these emotional sensations in our bodies telling us we need to do something in the outside world. But that's not correct, because really our sensations in the moment, that uncomfortable feeling we might have, the anger, the anxiety, whatever, is actually just telling us about our state of mind in that moment. What are we thinking? What kind of thinking have we got? Not anything about the outside world. So let's take that angry situation again. Somebody does something, we feel anger towards that thing, that person, what they're doing, probably them. And so then we react. Now, when we realize in the moment, which I don't do a lot of the time, but when I do, it's transformational. When we realize in the moment that feeling we've got is telling us that we've got angry thinking, rather than telling us it's that person who's creating the feeling, then the other things make sense. The thoughts are different. They're just different. The thoughts might be, and this is just ideas rather than, I'm not telling you what to do. The idea might be, I need some space. I need to take some time out. I need to leave that email in my drafts and send it, maybe read it again later when my mind's a bit settled. We fundamentally do know that we are connected to our well-being and our sense, our responsiveness rather than our reactiveness, when our minds are quiet. We know that, really. We all know that, really. We forget all the time, but I think we fundamentally do know it. And so when we understand that our feelings aren't coming, those sensations, they're not like hunger, they're not like being cold, they're just a sensation that's being brought about by our state of mind. Our reactions are different. Well, they're more responses, really. Everything seems to slow down for me. So another example of this would be, that's why I started to talk about eating at the beginning, but actually how we eat now is often coming from a place of misunderstanding our feelings. So let's say you've had a terrible meeting and you come off the meeting and you've kind of made a decision not to eat biscuits or to cut down on sugar or whatever we tend to do these days in order to be healthier. But in that moment, that angry feeling, that stressed out feeling, that's coming from the meeting, that you think's coming from the meeting, it makes sense to do something else from the outside world to get rid of that feeling. And that might be a biscuit or some chocolate or something else that ideally you don't really, when you're calm, want to eat. But of course, when you come off that meeting and you realize, that was a meeting and a half, I am really wound up at the moment, I feel really stressed, I think I'm going to go for a walk because I know that the thinking is going to pass. So it's giving yourself space, time. That makes more sense when you realize that this is an internal system and that sensation is just telling you that your thinking's gone awry right now. That's so powerful. And so it is, all the choices we make are coming from our level of understanding about where our sensations are coming from, our feelings. When we know they're coming from our state of mind, we make very different decisions to when we are misunderstanding that they are coming from the outside world. Really different decisions. It's really is knowing that when we experience one of those uncomfortable sensations, it is just telling us about our state of mind, nothing else. And that we're just a bit stupid in that state, really. That thinking is just a bit dodgy. When we're in a calmer state of mind, when we're connected to our well-being, we've just got more clarity. So, yeah, enjoy exploring that. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.